Hello, this is Ryan with Conservative Corner Entertainment 2 here on YouTube. I have a special guest with me today, Joey V, for an interview, who was arrested for the January 6th Capitol protest. Joey, you're on.
Yeah, well, I was over there at in D.C. at that time, on January 6th. And I was over there just supporting Trump. I had a YouTube channel called Joey V Trump 2020. I didn't go there to, I only went there to support him and to film for my content, for my YouTube channel. I didn't go there to be heard or anything like that. So as he's, speaking out there, after a while, I got tired and it was cold. I had to, go to the restroom and eat and stuff. So I left. And I went to a restaurant out there. Can't remember the time, but, ate but I was done close to about 2 o'clock when I left. And I left. I was going to just go home, go to my car and just leave. But I decided, everybody's walking to the Capitol. It wasn't my plan to. So I went, to see if there's anything going on. And when I got there, it was about 2:15 by the time, I walked out there. I see, the Capitol just filled with so many people, patriots. And I was amazed of wow. I didn't see any violence. I didn't see any gas or any of that. Nothing.
So when did your arrest happen, and what was that like?
Oh, okay. So what they did is November 13, 23 is when I got arrested. So what happened a year prior to that, my car, someone tried to steal my Cadillac converter. So I reported that. So they had that in file, the FBI, when they went to Youngstown's police station. So what they did is that instead of calling me and telling me, come to the station, and that they said, well, we got a lot of people that try to steal the Cadillac converters. If you can come in and identify the vehicle that I saw. I said, okay, I'll try. Walked in. They're like, you're Joe Baglica? Joe. And it's, yeah.
Wow.
And like, oh, you're under arrest. I was like, for what? And then, they came up and, once they could have called me, I would have come in, it's, total misdemeanors.
Yeah. That's actually unbelievable that they went that route to do that.
Right. Yeah. They know I have nothing on my record. They know, my history. They shouldn't have done that. They should have just called me and I would have come in.
Wow. Man, I'm sorry that happened to you. That's crazy.
Well,
So exactly what did the government claim that your role in January 6th was? And I don't know if you're at liberty to say, but what did they charge you with?
They charged me with entering and remaining in the Capitol. They charged me with misconduct, walking into an office. What else? Parading, picketing, parading in there. And I think another misconduct, which it was overcharged. 5 different charges. The evidence that they have, other than, walking in a room and, inside, it's all it really is. I didn't chant anything. All I was doing was filming. Just filming people, filming history.
Wow. Look, here's the thing that kills me is I have spoken with many people who were arrested over January 6th. And to be honest with you, if I would have made it there that day, I probably would have been one of them. But a lot of it, most of it, from what I've witnessed and seen and the people I've spoken with, and even the people that I know, they're all just trumped up BS charges to try to get you on something.
Right. They try to make Trump look bad, honestly. It's political.
It hence the term political prisoners.
Right.
Okay, so the morning of January 6th, before the protest took place at the Capitol, what were the thoughts in your head, going there that day? What was the game plan in your head?
Just, I have my YouTube channel, so I was looking for content and just, passing out my cards, just, filming what I could.
Right.
And honestly, I didn't know. Just supporting Trump, basically.
Right.
Other than that, I didn't. I didn't even plan on going and walking to the march to the Capitol.
That's a perfect answer. What you just said. That's what I was looking for. Okay, so like, what I'm trying to understand is how did they pick you out from the Capitol? Like was there video of you elsewhere?
Yeah.
Was there?
There's video inside. They have cameras. I knew they have cameras. I mean,
They used facial recognition and all that.
Right. But I knew, I was filming my cell phone, so they pinged it from the satellite towers. Yeah. But when I went up there, when I got to the Capitol and I saw, the steps, I went up the steps. I didn't see any violence or nothing. My goal was going to go look down and take an awesome view of all the people all around. It would have been cool for the video. But then when I went up there, I saw a line of people walking in. I didn't storm it. It was just a line of people walking. There was officers out there, 4 officers, and it was just a slow line walking in. So I was like, okay, I'll get in line, and I'm looking at the officers. They're not stopping anybody, so it's a slow line walking in, and that's walking in. People handing out bottles of water, passing out water. I didn't see anything, bad. It was just peaceful protesting. I thought, officers are there just to make sure nothing happens. I didn't think we were breaking the law. I didn't see any fencing. By the time I got there.
The way I look at this is, it's like, okay, you can, almost just anyone, can walk into your local courthouse, right?
Right.
Why can't you walk into the Capitol? That's our house. That's our building, paid for by our tax dollars for us, and it's supposed to be operated by us. So I don't know. That's like getting a B&E for walking into your front door when you I don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's just,
well, this particular day they had it restricted. They had fence around it, but I never saw it. And they have what do you call it, the bike rack fence, which is nothing. And then they had the mesh fence. I understand.
If you look at when Biden was inaugurated, what was it, January 20th of 21?
Right.
You can see, if you look at the massive barriers they put all around the place. Oh, they wanted then. But, as far as I know, Trump requested 30,000 National Guard the day of January 6th, and Nancy Pelosi turned it down. There was a video, and I'll see if I could find it to put on for y'all.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Nancy Pelosi taking full responsibility for January 6th because she did not approve the 30,000 National Guard troops. And if it would have happened, I really don't think that would have happened that day. That's a pretty good deterrence, man.
Exactly. And that's what I'm going to say, On top of that, like I said, they used mesh.
You all went there to support Trump and to peacefully protest and just make your voices heard. Right. And that's, that happened.
I didn't go to make my voice heard. I go just for my, YouTube channel and support Trump. I didn't, inside, I didn't even say really anything. I didn't chant anything. I didn't, but yeah. But
the majority of people that I've spoken with who have been arrested for this, that's what they say though. They went there just peacefully, protest outside and make their voices heard. What one thing led to another, and then what happened. But so the thought in my head as we're talking about all this, would you ever, and I already know the answer, would you ever go to another Trump rally or a Trump protest?
Yeah, I would go to another Trump rally, of course. Yeah.
You wouldn't believe the amount of people who have been arrested and or convicted and or whatever over January 6th who are, I guess, nervous about going to another Trump rally, especially after the assassination attempt on his life. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I feel it was a setup. I feel that he got set up, and it's just horrible for service the way they did it. They're supposed to be the best, and they
almost an hour. they had eyes on him for almost an hour. And you know what? Putin and other countries are laughing at us right now.
I know. It's terrible. It's terrible.
It is. Okay, so has your life been your life? Has it been negatively impacted by this, by the January 6th ordeal? And what was the outcome of your arrest over the charges overall?
Well, since I got arrested on November 13, 2023, it's just been, it's been kind of stressful having to deal with this. I'm filming a movie and it's slowing everything down. I'm working full time filming this movie, and it just makes it much more difficult. So you're constantly thinking about that. It's affecting my work too, honestly. It's just because you're thinking about it and you're like,
Shame.
It's unfair. It's really unfair to a lot of people because, like I said, the fencing was torn down. Nobody knew it was restrictor ground. Nobody.
Right.
At 1 o'clock, it was all.
Antifa and Black Lives Matter and leftists ravaged the entire country in the summer of 2020. And how many people were arrested? Did they go and use facial recognition on the people that burnt down the Minneapolis Police Department or the courthouse in Oregon? I don't think so. I don't think they were hunted down. I don't think they had their lives ruined. To me, it's crazy and it's absolutely ridiculous. And anybody with two working brain cells can see the hypocrisy in all of it.
Right.
So moving forward, what are your plans in life after all of this and from here on out?
Well, I like to, I got a public defender right now. I like to hire a private lawyer for this. But after this, I'm going to finish my movie and try to, get it out there.
And you do have, what is it, a Give, Send, Go for that?
Yes, I do have a Give, Send, Go. It's called Support Joey V. Fight for Justice, January 6th Defendant. I can send you the link if you need to put it on.
Okay, I'll have all that on here, available on the screen. And that's for help getting a real attorney instead of a public pretender.
Correct.
I got it, buddy. So, do you think? And now, what do you think about the people being held still to this day who aren't contacting their families, who can't contact their lawyers, who we don't even know if they're alive or not? What do you think about them?
Right, that's a good question. Because they haven't even had a trial yet, and they should have. It's not right for them. It's unfair. They should be able to contact people. That's why a political prisoner.
Yeah, absolutely. And Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, along with several others, James Comer and other people, went to I forget the name of the prison. It's a prison in D.C. where a lot of them are being held as political prisoners. Now, they were denied access into the prison, and they were denied access to the January 6th political prisoners as well. Now, I've never heard of anything like that in my life. They're the ones that fund these places. They're the ones who have control over these places. You know how many prisons they go into across the country or different things like that? And it's totally fine. Nobody bats an eye. But with that, they weren't allowed in. They just wanted to go in and make sure they were okay, and they were totally denied.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that. Matt Gaetz was actually involved with that too. Matt Gaetz.
Yeah, he was. You know what? Personally, on a completely side personal note, I like Matt Gaetz. I do. There's a lot of good things about him. There's and I know we've all heard the stuff about Matt Gaetz a while back.
I don't think it's true. You know how they are.
Yeah, I know. They'll get a story and just totally run with it.
Right.
So, how do you feel about Trump's promise to pardon the January 6thers if he gets elected? And you know what? I think he's sincere. I think he will. He's never let us down before.
Right. Yeah, I think he will. Especially Enrique. He wasn't even there. Enrique.
No.
Taro, and he wasn't even there. And well, he's got like 20 years or something like that. He's definitely gonna do that.
That's great.
He knows that the whole thing could have been prevented, and great chance of it being a setup.
Yeah, absolutely. And now, so after Trump promised this, I believe he's going to do it. You believe he's going to do it, and so do so many other people. Everything he said he was going to do, has he not done it? He has. So that would include you, the guy I had on before, Stephen Billingsley, my friend Clay, my friend Doug. The list just goes on. Several other people would get a pardon as well. How do you feel about that?
That would be great. That would be great because, it's they're doing it deliberately, to target Trump and Trump supporters, because they have a different agenda. Trump's trying to get the power back to the people, and they don't like that.
You're right. And let me make a good, clear point to everyone who's watching. I get the comments. I see them all the time, and I have the leftists invading my channel who, insurrectionists. Well, okay, let me ask you something. Was anybody charged with insurrection? No, they were not.
Right.
Charged with insurrection, and I'll agree with you that it was an insurrection, but it was not. If you look up the definition of an insurrection, it doesn't even fit. It's not even close. No, there's just no.
I'm pushing it.
Yeah, there's no comparison at all.
Right.
So, okay, I did want to touch on this real quick.
Yeah.
You mentioned it a little bit ago. You are in a movie, and you're helping to make the movie. You want to touch on that a little bit?
Yeah. It's actually a movie I wrote. I started back in 2019. I came to Youngstown, Ohio, and I realized there was a big boxing community. I met Ray Boom Boom Mancini. He was a boxer. He was supposed to be in it, but it didn't work out. But yeah, and I was here about 4 months at that time. Went back to Florida, still finishing writing it. Did my YouTube channel, and in November of 21, I came back to start filming. And we had so many setbacks. It's coming out good script and all, but so many setbacks. It's and we got we work full time. We mostly film in the weekends or whatever we can. So, and now this happened.
And what was the name of that?
Standing in Youngstown. It's a boxing movie. So I got arrested 2 weeks prior to filming the championship fight scene. So that was a little rough. Everything in my mind.
Yeah, I couldn't. I couldn't. The guy I had on last, who was arrested for January 6th. I know him personally, so it was even kind of crazier when I found out that he got arrested. But Stephen Billingsley's been on here before, and I know a lot of you guys on here watching have been asking, where's Stephen, because we've done some videos in the past. But Stephen, he's getting his life together, and he's working on rebuilding, and he's working on getting some stuff situated on his own right now. But you know what? The day he was arrested, it was like 6:05, 6:08 in the morning. They showed up SWAT teams. They had DC police. They had local sheriff's department. He woke up, answered the door, and there was a drone this far in front of his face. About 5 feet from his face. Yeah.
Really?
They had the house surrounded. They were ready to kick his door in. They had a battering ram. They were ready. All over a cell phone. They took his cell phone, him and his wife's cell phone. That's it. Well, they took him. They took him and his wife, and him and his wife's cell phone. But that was totally overkill. And all he wasn't even inside the building. He was outside. They charged him with unlawfully remaining on restricted grounds, or something to that effect. But
when did he get arrested?
What's that?
When did he get arrested? Like early?
It was 20. It was summer of 22.
22, because they knew I was on the grounds. They had video of me outside, which they closed the account. They closed it. That they didn't see me inside. But
Well, it's crazy. And, because I attended the Million MAGA March as a media personnel. I mean, I went to support President Trump in the Stop the Steal Million MAGA March, but I also went as media. They used my videos, the FBI, out of Wheeling, West Virginia. Okay. They used my videos to identify Stephen Billingsley out of the crowd over January 6th.
Really?
Whoever it was the whistleblower, was with us in our group that day, and we still don't know who it is. So that person is still in our group.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. It's a needle in a haystack, but there's an FBI informant or whistleblower, or whatever you call it,
right
somewhere among.
I see.
It's a rat.
It's a rat.
And you know what, Joey V, I thank you for your time. I thank you for everything that you've done, and I thank you for everything that you are doing. You stood up for your country, and you're still standing up for your country and for our president, Donald J. Trump. We have about a minute left. If there is anything that you want to add, the open mic is yours right now.
Yeah, it came a point where I was trying to find a way out through these doors, and everybody was coming in. I couldn't go through that doors. I noticed there was a body cam on the ground. So I picked it up, and I handed it to the police officer. So in a reverse proffer that I did, the what do you call it? The prosecutor saying that wasn't a body cam from the officer. Take away my credit, saying that was a GoPro. So, and if that was a GoPro, I know it wasn't a GoPro because I looked right at it. I had GoPros. I sold them. That wasn't a GoPro. 100% body cam from the officer. He took it, thank you, and put it back. He never said, you got to leave, you got to get out of the building. None of that. We had no idea. It was restricted ground.
So they're basically trying to discredit you as a person and discredit what you did to go along with their, and I'm going to say it, with their bullshit narrative.
Right, exactly. You're right. And then there was another point where, I had business cards, handing out my business cards for the YouTube channel. Why would I be doing that if I was doing something, that I shouldn't be doing, Boom, someone leaves on the ground, oh, there, look who's there.
And it's true. Like, I even, when Trump said they were arresting grandmas with their walkers over January 6th,
yeah,
I was like, okay, that maybe that's a little bit overkill. So I went and I looked. They did. They literally did. If you look it up, you can find it. So even I was skeptical about that statement, and then I went on and looked, and I found it. So that to me is mind blowing, actually, because they were there but didn't go in the Capitol on January 6th. So they are. I don't know. That's mind boggling that they're arresting little old grannies in Georgia, who are sitting there making supper, and then bam, here comes the FBI through the door. Oh, what are you doing here? Oh, we're here 4 years late, but we're here to nab you for January 6th. Insane.
Right. And they were arresting people for trying to help people from not getting, beat up from the officers. They were trying to help, and they got arrested for assault. It's like, you crazy. Yep. That ain't right.
Thing is nuts, and it was a whole giant concocted plan. Man, I mean, there's video, hours and hours and hours of video of police leading people around the Capitol, opening doors for them. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Don't you think if it was a dire situation like they claim it was,
right?
Police would have done more than just walking around?
Right. You're right.
Yeah, I don't know. I know what they did out front. I know what happened out front. Police lines got breached, but actually, I've done lots of research on this. I've studied so many hours, countless hours of video. Right. I don't think the police line really broke. I think they kind of just backed off. If you hear them on the thing, they're saying the police line broke, our line broke, our line broke. No, their line didn't break. They retreated. And then after people got in, they were being escorted around.
Right.
2 or 3 of them were escorted to the area of the, what do you call it, the rotunda?
I believe it's a rotunda. That's inside, and that's not where they do stuff at.
No, it's not. But they were being literally led around. And my point is, if it was a dire situation, police would have done something, and they didn't. And then they talk about how people died because of January 6th. People died because of January. Who died because of January 6th, other than Ashley Babbitt, who was shot by a Capitol Police police officer who never got any justice for what he did in the murder of Ashley Babbitt? And that's exactly what it was, too, was a murder. She was a parent, I think. She was a Marine. Or was it an Air Force? I think it was Air Force veteran or Army veteran. Regardless, she was a veteran. And she got gunned down while inside the Capitol. Okay, whatever she did. But they drew first blood. And it was MAGA that died, MAGA people that died, patriots, not anybody else because of January 6th. The police officer who took his life over January 6th, that had no relation to you guys going to the Capitol on January 6th at all whatsoever. What do you think about that?
Honestly, I don't know too much about that,
Well, the whole situation as a whole, with Ashley Babbitt and...
Oh, yeah, there needs to be justice for that, because he shouldn't have shot her. There was cops around her on that side, I don't know why the cops didn't stop her. I don't know why they didn't just grab her.
Well, in the case of George Floyd or Derek Chauvin, the police officer who supposedly...
Oh, I fucked that all up.
Yeah, he shouldn't. He should be charged.
Threat to anybody at all.
Right. He should be charged. I mean, she didn't have a gun. She didn't, she was in a vulnerable position,
Yeah, exactly. And to me, you guys are, history's going to tell a story one of 2 ways. And it's up to us as Americans, all of us, to determine how that story plays out. And how we determine that is we go and vote in November. But yeah, where I was going with this is 2020, there's a lot of fears. People, I'm afraid a lot aren't going to go out and vote because they're going to think their vote doesn't matter. Take your brother, take your grandma, take your neighbor, take your guy down the street, take everyone that you can and get everyone that you can to vote because it's important. It is, honestly, I'd say that's the only way without violence that we're going to save this country is this year at the ballot box. But Joey, I thank you for coming on the show. It was a pleasure talking to you, and I want to get the message out there. That's why I show things like this. That's why I do interviews with guys such as yourself, because people need to see the truth. People need to see the truth, and you know what? The day that I stop being able to change people's minds, and the day I stop being able to reach people in here and in here, is the day I'm just going to give this all up.
Well, the news, they just cherry pick on what they want to show. They don't show the actual origin of what happened, of the stuff, which I don't know.
They do. And you have the narrative that they've tried to spin over the years now.
Right.
I can't begin to even imagine what people on the left would think of when they think of a January 6th. So we got to get it out there on what the truth was, what really happened, what you guys did, what you guys went through. And I wish you all the best luck in the world. And if you ever want to come back on and you got something that you want to share, you got some news that you want to break, you let me know and we'll get you on.
Sounds good, man. I appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much.